Hey there guys, welcome to the next video here on the DuctTapeStuff channel. In this video I'm going to go over how to make your wallets look more professional. So if you're a big seller of your wallets, if you do a lot of selling, then you're definitely going to find a lot of good tips in this video to make your wallets look more professional. As well as if you're just giving out your wallets as gifts, or if you're interested in making your wallets look better just for yourself, you're going to find a lot of good things in this video to go off of. So let me first start by showing you what I'm going to be going over in this video. So the four things I'm going to be going over in this video are straight lines, fold over lines, billfold seals, as well as credit card seals. So without any further ado, let's get started on those four things. And let me show you how to make your wallets better utilizing those four different items. So let's start off here with the number one thing, and that is straight lines. Now I'm starting with probably the most basic item to improve your wallets, and I dug out my old first wallet that I made here. This is the one I first made when I started making things out of duct tape back in 2003, and this one will pretty much serve as my guinea pig for showing you what straight lines are. So for straight lines, the easiest thing that you can do to make your wallets look more professional is to always have straight lines in your wallet. So what do I mean by that? I mean having straight lines on every single part of the wallet, as well as what's inside it and the billfold as well. So whenever you're cutting out your tape, if you're using scissors, it's going to be a little more difficult to get straight lines on the cuts. If you're using your X-Acto knife, it might be a little bit easier, but you definitely want to have straight lines on all parts of your wallet. Now I'm talking about the billfold, so the top of the billfold here. You want to make sure your two sheets are exactly identical. If you are using two sheets, if you're using one giant sheet and then folding in half to make your wallet, you want to make sure that they are connected exactly on the top and that it is a straight line. You can use a ruler to make sure that it is straight, or you can use a cutting mat like I have here just to make sure. I don't know if you can tell, but on this one it has a whole bunch of little spots that stick up, so that definitely is not a very straight line, and if you pay more attention to that, it'll make your wallets look a little more professional. Also on the sides here, you want to make sure that when you connect them that those are straight lines as well. So if you have one sheet that's a little bit farther out or sticks out a little bit farther, it's not going to be a very straight line. So you want to make sure that those are straight and they aren't curved in any way, and you can use your ruler or your cutting mat just to make sure those are straight as well. Also the credit cards, you want to have the credit cards lined up inside your wallet straight across, as well as up and down and on sides as well. So that's the first thing I want to discuss, and that's straight lines. It's really simple, but you really want to make sure that when you do make your wallets that you focus on straight lines, because a few little mistakes and few little angles on the lines can really mess up a wallet and make it look a little crazy. So definitely pay attention when you're making your wallets to how straight your lines are. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about are fold over lines. Now me personally, I really don't care about fold over lines too much. I mean, I rarely cover them up on my wallets at all. I know a lot of people are crazy about fold over lines, so I'm specifically going to show you briefly how to cover up fold over lines in your wallets. I do have a specific video dedicated to this, so if you want to check that out, click the annotation up here, and that will direct you to a video specifically on how to do this. But usually when you do fold over lines, when you eliminate them, you want to make sure that all of your items that are inside your wallet are already in there. So your ID pockets are in there, your credit card holders, your coin patches, all of that is in there, but you haven't decorated at all on your wallet. And basically what you do is you take two strips of tape that are the length of your wallet, maybe a little bit longer so you can wrap around a little bit, stick them together so that they're a little bit longer than your wallet and a little bit wider. Then you just take your wallet and simply stick it onto this sheet here. Now you do a little bit of cutting to make sure that it wraps around, but basically once you flip it over, you can tell you do have that one line in the center. There's no way you're going to be able to get rid of that unless you use a full duct tape sheet, but you are eliminating all the fold over lines from the credit card holders, as well as when you connect the billfold and stuff like that. So that's a really easy way of eliminating from fold over lines. Like I said, I do have that video up top here which will go into detail on how to do that, but fold over lines, they don't really bother me like I said, but a lot of people do not like fold over lines, and they think they make the wallets look a lot more professional. So definitely wanted to show you how to eliminate those in your wallets. So now we're going to get into a little bit of the heavy duty stuff that we use to improve our wallets. So the third thing that I want to talk about are what I call billfold seals. And basically what billfold seals are, when you make your duct tape wallet here, say if I was making it with just the one sheet and then folding in half like this, basically when you have your billfold, the tops here, this is just where two pieces of duct tape meet at this strip here, and you usually have a little bit of a sticky side there. Usually it wears off after a while, but it can be a little sticky when you first make your wallet, and it does flex fairly easily just because it's just where two strips of tape meet at the top. Well, there's a really easy way to fix that to give a little more sturdiness, as well as eliminate a lot of that sticky part that's going to show up there. So let me show you how to do that. So to add a little bit of sturdiness to it and to eliminate most of the stickiness, we're just going to wrap a piece of tape around that that's going to pretty much fold over both sides of this sheet here on this part of the billfold as well as the top here, which is going to be the two tops when we fold it up. So basically I take a long strip of tape here that's the same length as my billfold here. And I made it the black and white checker so you guys can see what it is. I cut that strip in half because there's no sense in wasting, an entire strip on this. You're going to take one strip just like this, apply half of it on the sheet here. This is a lot easier to do when you are making your wallet, because obviously when you have it all sealed up, it's going to be pretty much impossible to do this, when you have your wallet all creased and everything. So you just put it on the one side, then you very carefully wrap it around, try to make it as even on this side as it is on the other. And then you just seal it up just like this. So now that adds a little bit of an edge to it. You can kind of see it's a lot thicker on the edge. It has a little bit of a sturdiness to it, as well as eliminates all that sticky part there. So let's do it on the other side here as well. So about half of it on this side here, and then half of it on the other side. It doesn't matter if it's, not exactly half. Should be fine. So I'm going to fold that back around, and then we're going to fold it up. So this is basically what our wallet is going to look like. And then when you start to fold it like this, you'll have a little bit of extra sturdiness on the top of the billfold, and you won't have any of the sticky side showing. And you can tell it looks pretty professional there. It's really a nice rounded edge, and it definitely looks really nice with the black and white checker. So that's how to work with billfold seals. At least that's what I call them. That's kind of just adding a little bit of sturdiness to the top of your billfold. Okay, the fourth thing that I want to talk about are called credit card seals, and they bear a striking resemblance to billfold seals, but the only difference is that they go over the credit cards instead of the billfold here. So basically, let me show you. For example, if I were putting a little bit of a tape over the top of this credit card holder here, if I was trying to put it into this wallet here, this credit card holder is already sealed up in here, so it would be pretty much impossible to put a strip of tape over here and then fold it back around inside that holder to give a little bit of a rounded edge to this holder here. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply this edge here. I'm going to be using the black and white checker again, but I'm going to apply it to the credit card holder before I actually stick it into the wallet. So I make my credit card holder here. I have two strips of tape that are about 3.5 inches long, my normal length for credit card holders here. How I make my credit card holders, I just put a little bit on the bottom here. This is going to connect it on the bottom. So I just stick that right there. And I actually apply the sides here as well. But you'll notice that obviously I'm not sticking it into the wallet just yet. I'm just throwing it all onto the holder here, so that when it's ready I can throw it into the wallet. So I got the two sides already stuck on there, as well as the bottom here. So it's a little bit off, but if I'm spending a little more time I can make it a little bit better, but just to give you guys an example of how this works. So I'm going to use my black and white checker again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply this on to the top of the credit card holder here. So right about there. And you can decide how much you want to fold over. I picked a little bit there, so that should be alright, but we'll see how well this works. So then you just flip it over, and then just fold this back around to the back of the credit card holder. So now we have pretty much that. So we're going to take our wallet here, and we're just going to stick it right into the wallet. It does take a little bit of work to make sure that the fold over here is nice and straight and that it looks nice, but you will get it after a while. You just have to make sure that you work at it. So that's how to put a little bit of a fold over, or a little bit of a credit card seal onto your credit card. So I showed you how to put on the billfold, but you can also put on the credit cards as well, and that'll give your credit card holders a little bit of sturdiness, as well as eliminate any of that sticky part that might end up on your cards and stuff like that, because a lot of people do complain that their cards get all gunked up from the adhesive, which does happen a lot from that strip there where those two strips meet. So you definitely want to use this to eliminate some of that gunk that's going to end up on your cards. Okay, so that's pretty much going to conclude this video on making your wallets look more professional. Now there are two more things I want to talk about, but they do have specific videos dedicated to these already up, so I'm just going to point you in the direction of those. A lot of people do like to put designs on their wallets, and hey, I do too, because I know I put a lot of designs on my wallets, but a lot of people do like to seal up their designs with packaging tape. So I do have a video specifically up on how to do that up in the top left of your screen here. You can click on that video. That will show you specifically how to put HD clear tape, which is a special kind of packaging tape made by Duct brand, onto your wallets and kind of seal up your designs and prevent them from coming off. Also, I do have a video up on eliminating creases or cutting back on the crease in your wallets, as well as what I call warp lines, which are kind of like these lines that appear when you do fold your wallets and they kind of get all warped and messed up. That's in the top part of your screen right up here, and you can click on that video, and that's going to show you how to pretty much cut, more or less just cut back on the crease in your wallets, as well as eliminate some of those lines that can happen. They kind of get all out of whack when you do fold them. I also do have a tutorial up on kind of a major video on showing you how to make all kinds of different things in your wallets. So, you know, multiple card holders, ID holders, all kinds of fun stuff, like, you know, adding a whole bunch of cool things in your wallets, and that's in the top right hand corner of your screen. And that video is pretty much a giant video showing all the kinds of stuff that you can put into your wallets to make them look more professional. All kinds of different stuff in that video. Card holders, ID holders, all kinds of great stuff that you can see. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I will be coming to you fairly soon with more videos, so take care. I apologize for the kind of raspy voice. I was kind of at a theme park the entire day, so it definitely was hooping and hollering the entire day, and that's why my voice is kind of shot at this point. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys next time on the channel. Hopefully you liked this tutorial.